System 1 loaded. Booting up system. Loading.
Gabriel Valentine.
Loading.
Dan Brozo. This is the Digital Lizards of Doom show live at Meltdown. 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 Meltdown.
Welcome to the Digital Lizards of Doom show. This is who I lovingly adore and who I lovingly refer to as Shavriel Smoothentine. Is that the one I called you last time?
Yes, dude.
Every time Gabe calls
Super
me,
down.
I call him like a pun version of his name, and that's the one I called him last. He's like, "Save it for the show, dude. Save it for the show."
You gotta save it for the
Like,
show,
all right.
man. It's
What's
pretty
the-
rad, though. I mean,
what I called
this
you
is
today?
a pretty creative guy.
I called you Davriel Beckhamtine.
Oh, dude,
today.
you just ruined
No,
it.
no, I have
should've
many
been
more.
next
I
week,
have
dude.
hundreds of these lined up for you.
Fine, that's hundreds.
Hundreds.
You're a pretty creative dude.
I was
Or you just have too much time on your hands.
Probably both.
Probably both.
Probably both.
Awesome, dude.
So anyways, welcome to the show, guys. We have a really cool show lined up for you today.
I'm actually pretty stoked about today's show.
Yeah?
Like, legitimately
What,
stoked. Yeah,
what
this is our
specifically are you stoked for?
a lot of things. This is our first episode where we're filming on location at our new home, Villainous Lair.
Is it officially our new home?
It is. It is. Yeah.
It is?
As long as they like it. I mean, they might tomorrow be like, "Hey, can you guys not do that show
really
here anymore?"
sucked. It made us
That really
uncomfortable. Leave, please.
But yeah, this is as you can see behind us.
Yeah.
Some awesome battle flags, and
We're above like their game room right now.
Yeah, it's
So
pretty
people
awesome.
play like Magic, Dungeons and Dragons, and X-Wing miniatures. Speaking of which, I have one of the co-hosts of Battlecast sitting right here.
Did someone say X-Wing miniatures?
This is Dirk
that the cue?
Stinger. Yeah,
Is
no.
that the cute?
I love X-Wing miniatures.
He's the one
That's
who
what I
introduced
play.
me to it.
Hey,
Hey, what's up,
how you
Dirk?
doing, buddy?
This is one of the co-hosts of the podcast I do, Dirk Stinger.
That's true.
Battlecast Show.
check it out.
Battlecastshow.com, Twitter, Battlecast Show, all of the above.
We should do some kind of weird hybrid thing where
should.
like we get you guys on the show.
And do like a little mini battle.
Like have
We
you guys
could
on as a
totally
guest.
do that.
But
We
you
could
guys are kind of
totally
like,
do
you
that.
know, major league, so that might be
No,
kind of
you
hard.
can't, dude.
so,
This show gets more love than Battlecast does.
Oh, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, thank you to Meltdown for that. For
Meltdown.
for putting us on the spotlight. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, dude. Our
We'll totally do
this
that.
this is our 5th episode, dude.
This is our 5th episode.
wow.
This is our half
I
decaversary.
mean, it's probably like not that big a deal, but
for anybody
it's
watching.
crazy. Yeah.
Oh, you
I mean,
did
it's-
5 of
for
something?
us,
Oh
it
my
just
god.
Feels awesome, man. I'm
Yeah.
really stoked.
No, it
yeah.
feels really good.
Feels really, really good.
I'm
And
still wounded though.
I know. Little update on Dan. Are you feeling any better at all, or
Yeah, it's a little bit better
yeah, about the same?
since the battle at Wounded Knee.
Got those pain meds going on, dude?
Yeah, dude, you know
Sweet.
it. You know it, dude.
Very sweet. Dude, we got Little Fish on
Yeah.
the show today. So, yeah. Alonso Nuñez. Pretty awesome. So,
Little Fish is a comic book studio. They put out content and they also teach you how to make comic books, correct?
yeah. Yeah.
That's
so
awesome. And
they have,
they're
like, a
local. They're in
school
San
and stuff.
Diego.
Yep.
That's really
They're
cool.
Ocean Beach, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty
Nice.
100% sure on that.
Yeah.
So 99%
So
sure.
Ocean
Yeah.
Beach got comic book schools and stinky hippies.
Sounds good, man.
Yeah. So you want to get into some news?
Yeah, dude. Let's get into some news. So,
All right.
I hit up this guy on Facebook, and he does some pretty cool artwork. I'll show you guys some stuff.
Oh, you're telling me about this.
Yeah. So he has this website. Here, I'll show you the. His website is called superlikes.com.
Super likes?
Yeah, check this out, man.
Okay.
So what he does is he does all kinds of like nerd culture reference themed items. Like he sent us a really sweet
He
mouse
does
pad.
high quality print T-shirts, framed
High
prints
quality
and mouse pads.
There you go. He has the flyer. You know.
Yeah.
Here, check this out. So we'll get some
Canvas prints,
get some
stationery
close-up
cards,
shots
iPhone
of that.
cases,
It's pretty rad.
iPhone skins.
So what I got for my buddy Dan, I got
This is actually for me.
yeah, dude, you can have
Oh,
it.
dude.
Because
I
I
thought
don't.
you were like, I don't use mouse pads. I was like, who doesn't use mouse pads? He's gonna keep it.
I'm anti mouse pads. No, I just have one of those little like ball thingies. You know.
A trackball?
Yeah. So
Dude, that's like very
I call them ball
1984 of you.
thingies. So
That's sweet.
yeah, so check it out, dude. Isn't that sick? So it's like
Oh,
all
that's
the-
really rad.
it's
We'll get some B-roll of this.
night.
Dude, I'm gonna unwrap this.
Yeah, dude. So
Paladin.
We got a Final Fantasy one.
Bahamut
It's
that they're
Bahamut,
facing?
Yeah. Isn't that rad, dude?
That's super rad.
Yeah, so
I'm opening it.
everybody go and check out Super Likes. It is some pretty awesome stuff. Yeah, so Kari, it's
Wait, you said you were talking to this dude.
yeah.
You've never met
Actually,
this
you know
person,
what?
though.
That's a good point.
It could be either.
I'm assuming. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of messed up. I'm assuming it's a dude. I don't even know.
That's some nerd culture sexism, Gabe.
That is, dude. I
Just assume we're
apologize
all
about
dudes?
that, actually.
Oh, it's
No.
Kari, Kari. This is a girl, dude.
All right,
I mean, we are
so-
in Southern California, and everyone's a dude. Like, you know, what's that movie?
Kari, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I'm a dude. She's a dude. He's a dude.
Well,
we're all dudes.
She makes such awesome stuff. I was just like nerding out, so I didn't really even think like,
You're
oh, am I
just,
talking
like-
to a dude or
Yeah.
a company?
Weren't
You
even
know,
thinking
like
about
I'm not even sure, but
Dude,
yeah.
I'm looking at the bottom here too. Curated designs for Zelda, Castlevania, Chrono Trigger,
Yeah, it's pretty rad.
Earthbound, Kirby, Final Fantasy,
So I'm gonna say
Metroid, Mario,
shoe.
Mega Man.
So I'm gonna go ahead
Bitchin'.
and get the shoe out there and
Yeah.
say she. So there you go.
Yeah.
You know,
Let's
just
just-
throw the
let's
shoe out
just
the window.
Dedicate
But,
all money on.
So
on
she, Kari.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kari. We apologize. I apologize. Thank you, Dan.
Her name is like perfectly set up to apologize too, because it rhymes with sorry.
Sorry, Kari. That's
Sorry,
pretty
Kari.
cool. But yeah, no, it's really cool what she does. I talked
Yeah, these
to
are
her a
dope.
little bit on Facebook, and she actually quit her job in 2012,
She's able
and
to
she's
support
doing
herself
this
on
full time.
Oh, I love stories like that.
Yeah, it's super rad, man.
In our comic book section, I have a story like that too.
yeah,
Yeah.
sick, man.
Somebody
Awesome.
that was able to do what they love full time.
Yeah,
which
it's-
is the dream.
It is the dream, dude. And I'd been following her stuff for a while, and
Mhm.
yeah, just you know what, we need to give her a plug, you know. So I just went ahead
Definitely.
and sent her a message.
I'm gonna be my
Pretty
mouse
sweet.
is gonna be rested gingerly atop this later today. So
Pretty sweet,
dope.
dude. So yeah, go and check her out. Please help support Kari. Kari likes.
Superlikes.com, and they got
Super cool site too. Very pretty site. So I should have known
Tight.
it was a girl.
Yeah, no, just from like the
That's sexist again too. Gosh dang it, man.
you're a chauvinist pig, dude. How dare you? I thought you were so open-minded and left on a lot of things.
Oh man, I'm messing up today.
Nah, that's cool,
So-
dude. All right, so you want to get to my thing now?
Yeah, dude. What do you got?
So my thing is, it's a company called Gamers Edition, and this is a pretty new thing, and I'm really stoked about it because, you know, indie games get a fair amount of love on the web.
Yeah, of
but
course.
what they don't have is presentation in like a physical format. The most you get out of an indie game is like cool art within the game, like the thumbnail on the Steam buy section, all that kind of stuff. But this company, Gamers Edition, it's a new service that offers video games stuffed inside cardboard boxes and sold as limited run collector's editions.
Dude.
And that's straight off this article about
And they do
them.
all this independently. Like the games don't contact them or
Well,
anything,
I'm sure they get the rights and stuff.
Yeah, of
like
course.
they're using all their art. So it's basically they're making collector's editions of indie games. So you know, like all like the big budget games have oh, you get Call of Duty and you get a pair of night vision goggles and this little action figure and like the soundtrack and stuff. They do kind of that thing. So like the first game that they're doing is let me find it here. Hotline Miami 1 and 2.
Dude,
And
nice.
they have like a mixtape. They have little trading cards. They have like a book of art. And it's
What was
just,
the other one you told me?
Oh,
I
the
hadn't
other
heard
one.
Yeah,
which
because I've heard
I
of
haven't
Hotline
played,
Miami.
I haven't played Hotline Miami.
Hotline
and
Miami's
2.
pretty gnarly, dude. It's
I
pretty
haven't
gnarly.
even touched it yet.
Yeah.
I don't even know a lot
Awesome
about it.
soundtrack though.
The one
For-
I do know a lot about is another game that they launched with is Papers, Please, which is like you play
That's
the
the one you were
role
telling me about.
of a guard at like a checkpoint, like a security checkpoint at a border, and it's got like 8/16-bit graphics, and it's all about these choices that you make, whether or not you're letting like people through the border. And it's like oh, a mother of 3 children, but she doesn't have all of the correct documentation. Are you gonna let her through? And it builds on you like as the game player, like oh man, I'm like making some really tough calls here.
It's
and,
like SimCity meets RPG, like old school.
yeah, but it's like
RPG.
very real and it like tugs at your heartstrings in a cool way,
That's
and,
pretty
not
tight.
like a manipulative way, in like a way that feels real.
Yeah.
And it's really tight game. But yeah, so this company is making really cool collector's editions
man.
of
What are
indie
they called
games.
again?
Gamers Edition.
Gamers Edition.
Yeah,
Cool.
So just look that up on
I'm
the
gonna
old
check that
on the
out.
old Google, and you'll find some really cool stuff.
Do they have a list of like what they got or anything like that?
Right
or?
now, they just have Hotline Miami 1 and 2 and Papers, Please.
Dude, that's awesome.
So I
So
think
they're like just
Yeah, they're
starting out
just
right now.
starting, and
That's so
I
sick.
think they're not trying to like overdo it right now. They're trying to do it right, which
Yeah.
is what I appreciate. You know.
Yeah,
So-
Hotline Miami is pretty sweet. I'll have to tell my buddy about that.
Yeah.
He loves that game. I think the second one's coming out soon.
So real quick, I'm going to go through what the Hotline Miami package includes.
Yeah.
It's you get both games on DVD and Steam, a C90 mixtape, which is an actual audio cassette, which is awesome. A trade paperback of the Hotline Miami 2 comic, 5 cameo trading cards, a 50 blessing spray paint stencil, which is rad, and a custom art card. And it's all together in a DVD case, and yeah, it's awesome. Oh, and Papers, Please, you get a passport, paperwork, a key ring,
What?
posters, stamps, a pin.
That is so
Approved
stinking
and
cool.
denied stamps with an ink pad. Dude, that's so sick. And they're not that bad as far as collector's editions price-wise. The Hotline Miami one is $60 and Papers, Please is $70.
Wow, that's awesome.
And like collector's editions go for
The
like
night vision goggles
100.
with Call of Duty,
Yeah.
I think that was like $250.
Exactly.
Something like that. Yeah.
Man, there was a game, I forget what it was, but it came out recently, and it was like a zombie survival game. And there was like a collector's edition that was like $500,000.
Wow.
And you got your own like zombie bunker. Like they
Really?
would build you a bunker.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah,
That's
I'll
pretty-
look up what the
that's pretty
game is, and
epic.
I'll put it up here or something. I'll show some pictures of it. But that I saw that on like Reddit the other day, and I was like, dude,
This-
really? Who
you
has
just-
$500,000 to spend on a game?
You just reminded me of something. Have you
Huh.
heard of the game Last Choice You'll Ever Make, or I think it's One Last Choice. One Chance. It's called One Chance.
No, I
It's a game
haven't
called
heard of
One
this.
Chance. It's like a 8-bit game.
Is it newer,
And
though?
It's new. It's
Okay.
brand new, and or pretty new. I think it came out last year. And you have one chance a day. So it goes through a series of days. So you're a scientist, and you discover the cure for cancer.
Yeah.
But it turns out that you unleash this virus that just starts killing life.
Oh.
So you have like I think 16 days. Like the whole entire planet is gonna be destroyed. Like just it eats cells. So all the humans are gonna die in 16 days. So you have 16 days to save the world. And if you make one wrong choice,
ruins everything?
Yeah, you get a
that
game
sounds
over.
really. Is that an indie game too?
It's an indie game. I'm pretty sure it's on
sounds real
Steam.
tight.
It's crazy though, dude. Like so every choice you make has all of these
Repercussions.
like all
Yeah.
of these crazy like chain reaction things, and you don't know if you made the right choice until the end. So that's the cool part.
so there's,
you
like,
you play
infinite
all
different
the
endings, right?
Yeah, so you don't really get a game over until the game is over, and it lets you know like if depending
You
on
effed up, yeah.
yeah, like you can. There's a scenario where you're the last person alive, where like you saved yourself,
Yeah.
but by the time you figured it out, like everyone else was dead. There's a scenario where like it's just you and your daughter that
Yeah.
are still alive.
Don't give it away, dude. I want to play this.
No,
This
there's like
sounds really
endless
cool.
scenarios. That's what's so cool about it.
That
Like
sounds real tight.
they use the 8-bit.
How
way of
long is like the game?
I think you can beat it in like 30 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, because you're
minutes
gonna
to
want
an
to
hour.
play it a bunch of times and see
Yeah.
all the different stuff you can do.
Yeah, and there's like endless scenarios. They really like used the space that they saved with making
Yeah.
it 8-bit to just have all these crazy scenarios.
That's
There's
tight,
like
dude.
this like really slutty chick at the job
Such
you
a
have.
sexist pig, dude. We don't use that word.
No,
We
no.
use loose woman is the politically correct term for that.
No, she's like seriously slutty, and it's really funny because like it's 8-bit, so like there's like these weird polygon like boobs.
Sign me up,
And,
dude. Sign me up.
And she's constantly like flirting with you, so like you can either make the decision to go out with her and
Yeah.
like stay at her apartment or like work in your laboratory and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a trip, dude. You gotta play it. It's a
That
really
sounds
cool game.
rad, dude.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Tight.
So
All right, so yeah,
Awesome,
that was
man.
our news for the day. You want to get into some comics?
let's get some comics.
Let's do
dude.
that.
Yes. Don't you love that
Yes.
intro?
Just saying yes.
Just say no.
we
the
should
intro.
talk about our intros, dude.
Why not?
That's so unprofessional.
Is it?
We'll let the people decide if they like their intros.
I don't care. I'm stoked.
He all right.
I get
Yeah.
excited, dude. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
This is fun.
It is. It's great
Yeah,
fun.
it's a good time. So,
All right, let's move it along now. I'm just kidding. All right.
all right. So, for our first Dizzy Doom comic boom, we have Silverstreek. So get a close up of
That's
that.
like the
Nice.
80s movie with Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor?
What are you talking
Never
about?
watched Silverstreek?
No, I haven't.
All right.
No.
Some people know what I'm talking about.
Wow. No, I don't got it.
But
But
sorry to interrupt. Keep going.
yeah, thanks, dude. Wow.
Took you
Okay,
off-
so
took you off track.
took me off track. Now I'm like, I got to
Get
look
it?
up this
Train-
Gene Wilder
train
movie.
reference? All right, sorry, yeah.
No, yeah, Silverstreek is a super rad independent comic book, and it's pretty cool, man. It's a superhero. It's a superhero flick. It's by Flobo Boyce. Flobo Boyce. Kind of hard to say. Say that 3 times fast. Can you do
Flobo boys, Flobo boys, Flobo boys.
that? Okay, never mind. So it I couldn't do that, but thanks, dude. Thanks for showing me up. Yeah, this is Silverstreek. It's pretty crazy.
What are his powers?
His
What
powers?
makes this dude special?
So he has this thing. He's this genius, pretty
Okay.
much, and it's kind of like Iron Man, but
Mhm.
this guy's a little bit cooler than Iron Man, I think. No, yeah,
You're gonna have to explain
okay,
it then
okay,
if he's
so
a little bit cooler than
he's
Iron
like a
Man.
cross between Iron Man and Spider-Man, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, his
I'm in.
His full name is Eli St. Rose, I believe. Yeah, Eli St. Rose is his name, and everyone knows he's the Silverstreek.
Oh, okay.
Because people like
So Iron Man.
people
like,
call
in
him
that
Eli
regard.
like on the streets when he's flying
Yeah.
around. It's Eli. So and it takes place like his girlfriend made this movie about him.
Mhm.
She's like a movie producer, and so it takes place the day of the movie premiere at the Chinese theater in Los Angeles. So he's like the protector of Los Angeles. It's pretty cool. But he has this stuff called Sky Gear, which he made these like kind of cybernetic legs that he has real legs, but he made these ones to go over his real legs, and he can fly, can move really fast. In the comic book, he makes a reference to that. It's a little hard to use them inside because it opens up with like a bank robbery.
Yeah.
And it's a little hard for him to he like smokes out people, and it's pretty crazy, and he's like dodging bullets and stuff, so it's pretty sweet. There's a really cool armor. I don't know if it's like a prototype or something, but when it goes to his apartment, he has this really cool suit of armor.
Nice.
Kind of looks like a prototype. I kind of want to know more about that, so a little hint, maybe that'll be in the next episode. Looks really sweet.
This is a local artist?
Yeah, this is a local artist.
Where's
I
he
think
based
he's
out of?
he's based out
Or
of
she?
LA.
Just kidding.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
it's a dude. Flobo. I can't say it.
Flobo boys.
Flobo Boys.
Yeah.
Say it 3 times fast again.
Flobo boys, Flobo boys, Flobo boys.
Oh, dude.
I got flow.
That's awesome.
Bo
Anyways, Flobo Voice. I can't
It's
do it.
cool. No.
Anyways, I'm just going to call him FB.
Just use
so
pronouns.
FB,
Yeah.
F Bizzle does this pretty sweet graphic, and
I like the art style.
yeah,
on it.
it's super cool, man.
You know what it reminds me of
Colors
is
are pretty gnarly.
there was a superhero show with man, it was like a black main character who had like electricity as his power. What was the name
Static
of that?
Shock.
Yep.
Yeah.
That reminds me of that a little bit. The
Yeah,
art style.
it is a little bit like Static Shock. The cool thing about this though is that he's out front about everything.
That's tight.
Like he has an
Is it
apartment.
funny? Is there a lot of humor in there?
I wouldn't call it like a comedic book, but
Because that's
but
something
yeah,
I love
there's
about
some humor in
like,
there.
Iron Man, and I love
He makes.
Robert Downey Jr.'s
He's very
portrayal
proud
of him.
He's very proud of his gear. Like
Okay.
it's Sky Gear,
Yeah.
and everyone like there's a reporter in the book that calls it robotic legs, or he makes like some reference to his legs like that, and he's like, it's not robots, it's Sky Gear, you know. And and he seems really humble. Like he's not so totally stoked that they're making a movie about him, or that his girlfriend's making a movie about him. Kind of seems like he's using it. He just wants to help people, but everyone else
Yeah.
wants to use it as like
Oh,
a way
okay.
to promote.
So he's not like
promote him.
cocky and like full of himself.
Nah,
as much as,
not at all. That's like one of his
Okay.
characteristics. He's like
Like
super humble.
Tony Stark is like, yes, I am God.
Yeah, yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. And yeah, there's this really. It ends with a pretty cool hook, which I won't give away.
Please don't, because I haven't even read it yet.
But yeah, that introduces a pretty cool looking villain, and it ends with pretty awesome scene where it just makes
is
you want to.
just the first edition out right now? Or
Yeah.
the first installment?
As far as I know, yeah, this is
Okay.
this is what I was given, so it's pretty sweet. So check it out, guys. Silverstreek by
Is there-
FB.
Is there a
Thank you,
website or
FB.
something we can toss people to?
Yeah, I couldn't. I would say just Silverstreek comic. Type
Okay.
that in on Google. I'm sure it'll come
Yeah,
up.
yeah, totally.
It's pretty popular.
You're not gonna find the
Um,
Richard Pryor
So we actually got a signed copy, which was pretty radical.
Oh, hell yeah.
So pretty sweet. Go check it out, guys. By Flobo Boyce.
The way you were saying
Dude.
it, I thought it was like 3 names, like Flo, Bo, Boyce. His first name's Flobo. It looks
So?
like. I was just saying, I didn't get that.
What
Flobo.
does that mean? What does that mean?
Flobo's a tight name, dude.
It is a tight name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. I wonder if it's short for anything, like
FFB.
Flobentine or
It's
something.
F Flobo Boyce.
Oh, so there's another F we don't even know about.
FFB.
All right,
Yeah. It's
let's
like
get to the bottom of that.
it's like FF7, but not.
Gotcha. Or FF, whatever this is portraying.
I think that's FF6.
It looks like 6, yeah.
Yeah, that's FF6.
Got like SNES graphics. Tight. All right, so my turn. Get into something.
Let's do it.
All right, so mine, I don't have a physical copy of it. I want to talk about a webcomic, and the author of it is somebody that I actually want to get on next time we're up in LA. I want him to come on the show and talk about it. But I want to plug his show a little bit and tell people to go check it out.
Nice.
The comic is called Poorly Drawn Lines, and it's
Heard about that, actually.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
actually like pretty well known, and it's totally indie. This is a guy I actually went to college with at UC San Diego. His name is Reza Farzmand, and he used to write for the newspaper on campus. And I always he was the editor there for a while, and I always loved his articles, and always thought he's just super quick-witted guy, and always had a really unique way of looking at the world. And I didn't really appreciate his humor though until I saw his comic, because it is like every single one of his comics is hilarious. Like
Really?
there's some that have me honestly, like reading stuff, it's harder for me to like get the comedy out of it. Like I'll chuckle, I'll be like, haha, that's funny. But this stuff like makes me laugh hysterically like 9 times out of 10. It is really well written and just it's like a hilarious, like unique look at the world, you know?
Nice.
And he was actually had his comics he was featured on a show on Comedy Central. There was a show that was like a bunch of different animated shorts, and they actually animated some of his comics.
Oh, that's cool, man.
And yeah, his
So it's
his
not-
stuff
it's
was
not
like the best
animated?
part of that show. No, it's just a
web?
strip.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I was saying earlier, it's really cool because he was able to quit his day job and do this full time through merchandising.
That's always cool to hear, man.
And
That's always awesome.
Advertising on his page and stuff.
Very encouraging stuff.
Yeah, totally. And so it's like, I'll show some of this stuff on. I mean, I'll get his permission first, but I'll show some of his stuff while we're talking here. But like, it's really awesome that he was able to turn this into something that he can do full time, and he clearly deserves it because he's really friggin' talented.
Great, dude.
And yeah, he does them 3 times a week, which is
Wow.
like crazy because like I know he does the art for it, or at least like he does the basics of the art, and then he writes it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, puts out a new one every single week. And just go to poorlydrawnlines.com, and yeah, you'll find all this kind of stuff, and it's freaking rad.
Sweet, man.
And Reza's just a good dude, and I like seeing people that are good people
Yeah.
like be successful
So
and
you're,
stuff.
you're pretty tight with him? You're pretty chummy
we
with
were
him?
we
or?
were pretty tight in college, and now not so much, just because like he lives in LA and he's
Yeah,
super
yeah.
busy, and I live in San Diego and I'm super busy. But we'll like get in contact like a couple times a year and chat it out for a while.
Awesome, man. Yeah,
But
we'll have to
he's
get
just
him
a
on
good dude,
Meltdown.
and it is friggin' hilarious. And that's something like a lot of the comics I have been reading recently are I read them because they're cool and interesting and they're pretty to look at, and they're fun and they're rompy and that kind of stuff. But there's not a lot of stuff out there that's like genuinely hilarious, and it's cool to find like something that cracks me up every single time.
Cool, I gotta check that out.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
do it, dude.
And you guys should too.
For sure. Poorlydrawnlines.com. Check it out. Open a new tab. You know the drill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we get to Commander Echo's guest of honor?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Definitely. Dude.
Alonzo Nuñez.
Say that 3 times fast.
You do it. I'm not gonna do it.
I don't want to try that one.
Our guest has arrived.
What's up? We are here with Alonzo Nuñez. How's it going, man?
Good.
Sweet,
good.
dude.
Yeah, excited.
So thanks for coming on the show, dude, by the way.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
And you were just telling me just a few minutes ago that you've actually done a couple events here at Villainous Lair before, right?
Yeah,
with Little
Villainous
Fish.
Lair, I'll just mention the Eisner-nominated Villainous Lair.
Yeah.
If you guys knew they were
Prestigious.
Well, yeah,
Prestigious.
One of 5 in the
Pretty
5
cool.
in the world, I think.
Dang.
Made for the Eisner. Last
Yeah.
year for
Dang.
Yeah.
Story.
That is
they
prestigious.
lost, but it's an honor to be nominated.
It is, man. Of course.
And we did an event with KPBS for the One Book, One San Diego program here last year. Me and Eric Shanor of Age of Bronze fame and Gene Yang of American Born Chinese and Boxers and Saints.
Nice.
Soon to be the writer for Superman, actually. He's writing.
Very cool.
Superman, so.
For the new 52?
Yeah, for New 52.
Awesome.
Taking over with, I think, still John Romita Jr. and Klaus Janson. So,
Oh, dude.
right, yeah.
So sweet.
Yeah.
Very
so
cool,
we did
man.
a talk here, and we tried to partner with Villainous Lair whenever possible because we like to do a lot of community stuff, and they like to do a lot of community stuff. So
Nice, man.
syncs up well. Yeah.
Very nice.
So tell us about Little Fish.
So Little Fish is a comic book studio. We teach classes on writing comics, drawing comics, the collaborative experts. Aspects of comics, everything start to finish. coloring, all the pieces of it. Some of the students right now, just an example, are doing a biographical comic, which means it's a giant sheet of paper about 18 by 24, I think.
Wow.
Dang.
And it's split up into a series of like a 6-panel comic, a 10-panel comic, a 1-panel comic. It has to be researched, so I like to say it has to be an actual existing character, right? A real character. Right?
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
I let them pick the theme. It's Queens. So someone, humorously enough, chose Freddie Mercury.
Dude, that's
Freddie
awesome.
Mercury, as
Rad.
Freddie was an amazing Queen. We've got Audrey Hepburn. So they research this, and they plug it all in, and they're in the stage right now where they're finishing penciling it, and then they're going to ink it, hopefully in the next couple months, because I'd like to move onto something else. So we do rotating classes, rotate every month, teach classes Monday through Saturday, and then we run summer camps, winter camps, and then a lot of artist intensives. We actually have a artist intensive that coincides with Comic-Con. Klaus Janson is flying out from New York to co-teach that with me.
Wow, that's
It's gonna be awesome.
crazy.
Yeah. I'm always stoked to have Klaus in. And then the students will finish up their work. We'll make prints or a comic of their work. They'll take it to Comic-Con. And then part of it is to sell it at the booth, at the Little Fish booth at Comic-Con. And then a selection of the kids will present on the process on a panel last day of Comic-Con.
Wow.
So it's not just like, hey, like I paid money and I can draw at Comic-Con. It's a
Yeah.
little bit more like I'm a young aspiring artist.
Yeah.
they'd have to.
That's
stand
very
behind me
cool.
and work at the booth. I try to make sure. Unless I've got like a 12-year-old and a 13-year-old. As long as I've got older students paired with younger students, I try to not be at the booth so that they can kind of just do their thing.
Yeah,
talk
give
about
them the
their
real
work,
experience, yeah.
without falling back on someone being like, and here
I'm scared, dude. Yeah, do it for me.
They
Yeah.
have to do it on their own. and
Constantly
it's
learning,
fantastic.
man.
Yeah, it's
I
cool.
love that.
Yeah.
That's cool. It also that's pretty encouraging too. For kids to be able to do that too. So.
Yeah, it's really cool to see some of them step up. I was just talking to one of the applicants for that artist intensive, who was worried that she didn't have enough ability. She's 17, I think. She was worried she was going to be too young. And I was telling her the story, and I'll tell you guys the story. We had a girl 2 years ago. She's now a regular student, but she wanted to do this arts intensive at Comic-Con. And so she found us herself, emailed us a letter, this girl's 11, and had filmed a video that she had recorded herself, because usually we set the age limit at 14 for these artist intensives for Comic-Con, and she mailed in this video of why she deserved to go to the artist intensive.
Wow, dude.
So just full on, I was like, we got to meet
Initiative,
with her.
yeah.
She came in with her mom and was all about it. She was, she was super composed. Way
Did
more
she rock
composed.
it?
She rocked it. She was
Dude,
amazing. Now
nice.
she's a regular student. She's a veteran at this. It's amazing.
That's so cool.
Yeah. She's also some crazy fencer. So she's
What?
so she's taking,
She got some
Where's
fight
this
in her.
chick from?
she lives up in Escondido.
Wow, dude, that's
she's-
awesome.
So she's like, I gotta take a couple months off. I've got some tournaments coming.
Dang.
She was like, but I'll be back for Comic-Con. I was like, no, don't worry. You take all the time.
You go
need,
fence, honey.
Right. I don't want to get on her bad side. Right.
Yeah.
That's so rad, man.
So you guys have what are the different kind of classes you offer? You have the wide range, you guys have a bachelor's degree, and then you have different master's classes you can take?
Kind of. So we don't have any degree per se. But we
analogy.
teach, like sometimes we'll do like your kind of fundamental, kind of typical fine arts classes. You know, so like anatomy classes, perspective, drawing on location, all these things which are kind of fundamental for any art. Then other months we might do very comic specific type of classes, like collaborative type of things, like this biographic comic project, which is something you can only do in comics. Other months it might be focused solely on inking, which is one of my favorite aspects of the job. So we'll spend a whole month just going through inking different techniques. And then those are our regular classes, and then on top of that you've got the intensives, which are like the Comic-Con or our winter intensive, which are focused on like, all right, imagine that you've got a portfolio going and you want like this 1 to 3 pages to like be in that portfolio. Let's spend a week, 2 weeks knocking that out, hammering it, like getting it looking, sparkly and shiny.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. And you guys do publishing?
We do some publishing.
I saw that on the website.
We've done some kind of very DIY books ourselves, showing basically in effort, right? Because it's fairly easy to find a publishing house who will work with you to get something looking cheap. But we wanted to show our students that like you could like take this to like a Kinko's and you can print it on glossy paper, and then you can like do like a silk screen cover yourself and just like get some friends together and staple that and then sell it. So we did that. We actually it was called American Boom. It was kind of like a small single release comic. We actually had the release party for it a couple years ago at VILLAINOUS LAIR.
Nice.
At their old location.
Awesome, man.
Fantastic.
Just one big family.
And one big family. Yeah. I mean that's one of the other things we focused on at Little Fish is the kind of community aspect of comics, right? I grew up here in San Diego, and 4 days a year you'd have Comic-Con, right? And San Diego seemed like the Oz of comic books, right? There's
absolutely,
banners everywhere, like Jim Lee's buying pastries down the block. Not really, but you imagine
he could have
right Stan Lee coming out of Petco, like just buying a parakeet, true believer, But then like the other 360 days, like nothing, like kind of quiet, America's biggest quiet town, again. And so what we try to focus on is like bringing together like publishers, comic stores, fans, professionals, media, in order to help advocate for the awesomeness that is comic books.
That's sweet, man.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's part of the reason we were so psyched to be selected by KPBS to be a community partner, because we got to basically just be taken seriously talking about comics, which
it just makes so much sense, man.
Yeah.
I mean, if they didn't offer that to you, I'd call them right now and yell at them. So that's you're doing a lot, this we're talking about the future of comic books and the future of the industry,
right?
That's a pretty massive thing. And what a great idea too, man. Nice job.
Thank you.
Whose idea was it? If you don't mind, was it your idea? Or was it?
I had a partner initially, Patrick Urich. He was a teacher down at High Tech High down in Chula Vista.
Oh yeah, my buddy graduated from there.
Oh really? Yeah, awesome. He stepped back about close to 2 years ago now. And since then, I've transformed it into a nonprofit. Brought on other instructors. I have a board of directors now to help me. Basically a group of people I can ask to do things for free, which is which
the
is
best.
great.
Interns,
Everybody
man.
get a board of directors. Yeah, interns. Yes, also interns. So it started back then. I helped mentor their after school program. They had a graphic novel project. Helped mentor that, and we were talking.
Such a cool school.
It's a great school. We need to do this full time, and we started. And then after he stepped back, I was like, let's. We had been focusing on classes and the publishing, but after transforming into a nonprofit, the community and the collaboration became, for me, an as important part, as our kind of mission statement. Reaching out to the community, getting everyone involved in comics. Getting
very cool.
Because I'm sure for you guys, and definitely for me, and a lot of people that I know, it's like comics are a legitimate art form. Like of course,
absolutely,
But there's still so many people that are like, I didn't realize that comics weren't Batman punching villain of the month.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, honestly, I love Batman, punching villain of the month. That's,
sure.
That is art to me, but, when Gene Yang's American Born Chinese was selected, it was actually really cool to, without, it was really cool to be in a room with all these like people at KPBS having these meetings, and they're like, I didn't realize you could do this with comic books.
Yeah.
And to have them then want me to tell them why it was awesome and why it worked, I was like, this is amazing. Like,
Yeah.
I've died and gone to heaven. Older adults want to hear why I think comics are awesome.
That's
It's a way you can tell stories that you can't in any other like medium.
Exactly. There's a power to it. It was interesting. One of the sticking points, which for me kind of pointed to how strong comics are. In Gene Yang's book American Born Chinese, he plays with some racial kind of stereotype images of Chinese. So there's this character. My friends are going to kill me. I forget this character.
We have the book.
I know we have.
You can
We
grab
have it here.
No shame, yeah.
I know, right?
Nice. Nice little plug there.
I know, plug. Everyone buy Gene Yang's book. Here we go. His name is Chin Ki, right?
Yeah.
Super racist.
Everyone rubs Chinky.
Everybody loves Chin Ki, and it's set up as like this 1960s sitcom. There's a laugh track down
Yeah.
at the bottom, right? Clapping.
Have you read this book?
No, I
It's
haven't.
genius, dude.
I'm gonna
It's
check
genius,
it out.
yeah.
It is genius.
There's the official one book sticker, right?
Beautiful.
And in it, he's using these racial stereotypes to show, basically to hollow them out, to show how empty they are, how far removed they are from reality. But, and I think understandably, a lot of these people that were going to have to teach this book in school as part of the partnership were like, how do I actually get around that? Like, of course, you read it and you're like, I see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But, like, it shows you the power of imagery and what comics specifically bring to the table. Because if you read that in a book, you can describe racial imagery and it can hit you hard, right? But you have to spend at least 30 seconds reading that paragraph, right?
Yeah.
That you flip it open, you're like, whoa, that's
Instantly.
racist, right?
Yeah.
and you could even get the message before you're even reading the content.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, I mean, you could just see the picture. Oh, I see where this is going.
Exactly,
and so
and I think it's it was a really cool challenge to kind of help explain to the teachers and then to the students why it was important to read through it, like right, like why does this work?
what was the reaction? Actually,
The teachers
with
were
book,
like,
or-
this is, I don't want to offend my students. I don't want students to
Yeah.
be like, what the hell is this? And I was like, I don't think this is going to be a problem. I think, they're going to see this and they're going to be like, at most, and then they start reading it and they're going to be like, oh, I get it. I totally
Yeah.
get it. And that's how it worked out. The students were totally on board. And I think it actually, it helped kind of sell the book to the students. I think it felt a little bit more real. Like it was not avoiding these kind of cliches or kind of
Yeah.
stereotypes. It just was just marching right through them. It was
when
fantastic.
you read something like To Kill a Mockingbird, it's so far removed and doesn't feel real to you. When you read something like this is like you deal with these kind of things on a daily basis.
Exactly. It's just right in your face. It was,
Yeah.
for these. As a partnership, I went into Wilson Middle School, which is over in City Heights here in San Diego, and helped lead a series of workshops where they then took their own life experience and translated that into a comic, kind of like the character in American Born Chinese. They read that as part of the partnership. And so it was really cool because a lot of them, they had to deal with kind of like adversity like the character in this, and so
Yeah.
I think for them it just felt like, okay, this author gets it in a way. I can do this.
Yeah.
And it was powerful stuff working with these kids on these projects. You would have. At the risk of sounding, I'm just going to walk right into cliches. You
Do
have
it, man.
these,
Go for it.
Really powerful, immigrant stories. You had these kids that had come from Africa. Like there was this girl, and meanwhile, so there's that. You've got these powerful stories, but I'm also there trying to help them figure out how to best communicate those stories, right? And I go over to this girl and she's working on it and she's got thumbnails, right? Like the initial kind of sketches of what she's drawing. And I'm looking at the thumbnails and I go, I'm not sure what's going on here. There's some characters on the ground, kind of sleeping, it's nighttime. She's got stars and a moon. And then there's a little bit of a black shape in the foreground and she's trying to show that it's in front, so it's actually bigger than it's so it's a small thing, but we're seeing it up close, and I'm like, what's going on? And she tells me this crazy story, and she's totally like the way I would tell a story about going to Disneyland when I was 8. Like, yeah, then this happened, to me. Like she told this story about how they didn't have a lot of money where they lived, and so they slept outside, and her aunt got bit by a scorpion, and that's what she was drawing. And they went to a hospital, and then they had to leave the hospital, but the aunt was still sick, and then she died. And that was the story. And I was like,
Dang.
How old was she?
holy crap. She was, let's see, I think they were all 10.
Goodness
No,
gracious,
middle school,
man.
so she was like 12. She would have been about 12.
That's
and I was
nuts.
like, wow, like what? Like, okay,
Dang.
like how, like, do you really want my, and I'd be like, so maybe what I'm getting from you is like, that was important. She was like, yeah, I think so. And I was like, okay, draw the hell out of that scorpion. And so, I mean, it was for me, it felt like a really humbling, awesome experience to be like, this is like a incredibly powerful story for you, and you're letting me help you. She could have been like, like, get the hell out of here. Like, this is, I'm not, this isn't therapy,
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything like that, but she was like, how do I draw this? And so I got to help these kids, kind of hopefully work through some of that stuff, or even just express it. It was really cool. Of course, you've got the kids that like can draw, right? And they're, they think they're great.
They got it going on.
Yeah, some of them are, right? They're the best 13-year-old they know, and they're like, I got this. It's cool to work with them, but it's also awesome to work with the kids that will say like, I can't draw at all. Like, I don't know how to draw. I don't know comic books. And then at the end of the week, they've not drawn 3 pages, right? They've got 3 pages of a chunk of their life, which means something to them that they've created. And like, the art might not be the most polished thing ever, but like, I mean,
it's so
all these
real
kids are
and
13,
honest,
right? You're not going to get anything super polished, right? No one's going to be Jim Lee at that age. Jim Lee wasn't Jim Lee when he was 13, but it's real, right? And there's like emotion and there's heart behind it, which is one of the things I look for more than anything else, is that heart, that kind of realness.
Well, I mean, and not to take anything away from black and white comic books, but it's always amazing when you have a good story and it's honest and it's real. It doesn't matter what. It almost doesn't matter how well the art is drawn or whatever. When you just have something that hits you home like that, it doesn't matter. And I think, that doesn't surprise me at all. Like when someone is just telling their life story and on a piece of page, and dude, I'm so stoked that you you encourage kids to do that. Like, that's awesome, man.
It's awesome. It's a cool experience. Yeah.
I feel like we definitely don't have enough of that going on right now, and
We definitely don't.
and it's cool that you're educating children and you're also educating adults. That's amazing,
fantastic.
dude.
Yeah,
That's
rad. There's this one of our more recent students. His name is Norihiko. He's a Japanese man. He's in his early 40s, and we were doing a workshop at WinkyCon, which is a Wizard of Oz convention here in San Diego. It's like one of the oldest on the West Coast. Yeah. And
it was like a WinkyCon?
WinkyCon. I think they actually just changed their name to OzCon. It's OzCon.
OzCon?
Which
nice. That sounds like a gasoline company.
Right. Something out King of the Hill.
Yeah.
Propane. And I was there, and this man comes up to me, and he's asking about little fish, and he sees like what we're doing, and I can't remember what we were doing that day. And he had drawn a lot when he was in high school, so back in Japan, and then then life, job and marriage and all that, and he wanted to try to get back into it, so he started classes in, I think it was November, and now he's like just working on it more and more, and it's fantastic to see, and like,
that's crazy.
Maybe
man.
It's a hobby, maybe he'll like publish something at some point, but the focus for him is just expression and just like, again, nurturing that part of himself, which is awesome. He's got, he's in the biographic comic class, and he's doing one on Audrey Hepburn, and it's like incredibly researched and
Did I see that on your Instagram?
Yeah, it's on our Instagram.
Yeah,
That's
I was checking that out. That was so cool.
It's intense. Yeah.
That's very cool.
He's been on holiday last few weeks, and he's starting again tonight. And he was just making sure I was going to be there, and he's like ready to jump back in.
That's sick, man.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Get to some Twitter questions?
Let's do it, man.
All right.
Hopefully my computer didn't shut down again.
No, it's good. It's good. All right. So let's start here right at the top from Kate Killa, 1267.
Shout out to Kate Killa. What? 1267.
Who are your heroes in the comic book world?
Ooh. Oh, these are for me? These are all
Yeah,
Oh,
these
yeah.
are all for
Oh,
you,
wow. Okay.
Oh, no, you have to read the questions and then ask us.
Yeah. You're interviewing us now.
I didn't know if it was like
The tables have turned, my friend.
Mike's in the other hand now. Let's see. My heroes in the comic book world.
I know it's kind of tough. That's got to be tough for any comic book lover.
And a handful. I mean, I had some amazing teachers. I graduated from the School of Visual Arts. Shout out to SVA. They don't need the attention. There we go, lanyard.
Yeah, buddy.
You know, Klaus Janson, Phil Jimenez, David Mazzucchelli. You know, these are all noted creators, right? These aren't.
Yeah, you mentioned Klaus. You get to work with him on a regular basis. It sounds like that's pretty awesome.
It's fantastic, you know. And I'm always just happy when Klaus takes my phone calls. You know,
Yeah.
Klaus is a busy guy. You know, and Phil and Dave. It was amazing to see how, you know, all these guys don't need to teach. You know, these guys work. You know, Dave is a amazing cartoonist, you know, released Asterios Polyp, which I think like they had to make up awards for you know, because it had won everything. And you know, Phil and Klaus have their plates full, but they love teaching, they love educating that next generation, you can tell that they are willing to go the extra mile to help, you know, either guide, you know, in terms of what direction, in terms of polishing up your portfolio. You know, these guys, anytime I'm at the studio and I think like I need a break or like I'm too tired today, I think like how much they've done and for how long, and that they never once seemed like, you know, get out of my hair, I can't do it today. You know,
Yeah.
if I had a question, you know, they would answer it. Anything from, you know, the nerdiest, you know, like, hey Klaus, what was it like working with Gil Kane on this issue? You know, he's gonna sit there and answer my question. Or Phil, you know, I need to, you know, Phil, how does the radiobrachialis fit into the bicep and the tricep again? You know, he's gonna sit there and help me sketch it out. You know, I had Phil for figure drawing, and you know, those guys. Let's see, beyond those guys.
Yeah, this is like accepting an award where you
Yeah.
want to thank
Oh,
everybody.
right.
Yeah.
Like, you
I
didn't
wanna
mention
thank my
me,
mom.
Alonzo. What the heck, bro?
My mom is my hero.
I mean, you know, Will Eisner, who's no longer with us. I mean, Will blazed a lot of trails. You know, we were talking about how even now some people, you know, don't think of comics as a legitimate art form, or want to, but don't know like anything about comics. And
Yeah, don't know where to begin. Yeah.
okay, I'm willing to entertain the idea that this is art. Tell me about it. But you know, Will in the 40s and 50s, Will was the first guy saying comics are art, and like he literally had people laughing in his face. You know, like,
Yeah.
you're insane, you're a crazy man. Like, what happened to you overseas during the war? Like, comics are not art.
of stuff.
A lot of stuff. I mean, the man literally wrote the first books on how to make comics, you know.
Yeah.
Scott McCloud also. I read Understanding Comics when I was 18. I had just graduated from high school, and that book was like blew my mind, you know, like the way he tied comics into like other art forms, and the idea that like any art that tells a story is all part of this one kind of continuous art form.
Yeah.
I had the chance to meet him recently during a talk he gave at the Central Library downtown, and it was, I don't have too many kind of like just unabashed fan moments anymore, you know, but with Scott, I was like, you know, sign my life, you know, just like, I don't even have anything remotely adult to talk to you about. I just want to like tell you how cool you are.
Wow.
You know? It was at one point he's involved with the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund, an amazing nonprofit organization, and he was talking with Larry Martyr, I think Larry is the president of the board of the CBLDF, and Scott was talking about Little Fish to Larry before I was talking to him, and I was
Oh wow.
So
knows
cool.
of us. He knows of us.
That's so cool.
And at that point, I just faced forward and I was like, "Oh my god, he knows me."
That's so crazy.
And then I had an extra nerd moment at the end when I was like, "Thank you for knowing me," and it was nice.
security.
That he didn't, unfriend me on Facebook or
Yeah.
send out a police.
Rad. All right. Okay, Depp Downey Girl, which I'm gonna assume is Johnny Depp and Robert Downey Jr.
Depp, what is
Nice. Depp Downey Girl.
Depp
At
Downey
Depp
Girl.
Downey Girl.
They would have
Thank you.
attractive children. Two of those men. They would have great children.
All right. How do you find inspiration for your work?
Wow. I'll start with the cliche and get that out of the way. and
They're
then
just
see if I
rolling
can
out
find
the
some-
punches
Right?
today,
Yeah.
man.
The most open-ended
I find
questions
inspiration
ever.
from everywhere. Okay, that's out of the way. You can edit that if you want.
No way.
Inspiration. More and more, I tend to pull inspiration from real life. They say write what you know, right?
Yeah.
I'm married now. I have 2 kids, 6 and 3. Happy birthday, Adrian! It's his birthday
Happy
today.
birthday, Adrian.
He thinks he's Batman. As a side note, this is not my doing. Totally not my doing. And so I find that I get to see the world kind of through their eyes, which is getting cliche. But my daughter just started getting into My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. And she's got this little book. It's called The Elements of Harmony or something. And it's basically like an episode by episode guide. And it's got little biographies on the characters. And she's so into this book that she will read it in secret, right? She'll only read it when she thinks me or her mother isn't looking. And she hides it under her pillow. That's where it lives, And so, recently I've been really into this idea of like constructing superheroes. Again, with this idea of like, because as you get older, I think secret identities start to seem a little silly, right? Like Clark Kent, like how do people not know Clark Kent, Superman, all that
Yeah.
stuff.
That's
right?
an ongoing struggle, man.
Yeah,
That's like
even Peter Parker, like surely someone, but like for young kids, it's that type of magic still like just makes total sense, right? So she thinks like I can totally have this book and no one will know, right? And so for kids first reading comics, it's like it just seems like magical. And so I try to pull from that like initial wide-eyed wonderment whenever I can. And then also right now I'm working on a slightly wonky graphic novel about ancient Egypt's first female pharaoh. So I'm pulling a lot of inspiration from ancient Egypt.
That sounds epic,
I'll
dude.
pull from from books, from movies, even from I try to pull from actual real life whenever I can get out of the studio, right? San Diego bizarrely has a lot of architecture from the 30s that pulled from Egyptian like
down there in
Boulevard.
Hillcrest, right?
Yeah.
That whole stretch is what's called Egyptian Revival. I promise not to get too wonky, but that coincided with the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb. So it was like the second wave of interest in ancient Egypt. It was at the same time as the Art Deco movement, so it's like Art Deco meets ancient Egypt.
So cool.
And so I'm pulling for that because I want to present an ancient Egypt that is, of course, real, but I've got like a 20-foot dude walking around with the ram's head. Like I want some like crazy. Can I say shit?
Oh yeah,
you can.
Okay.
We might flip
Yeah.
it, but
So I can have like this dude walking around, but I can't like fudge a building. I'm gonna pull from like the way that like people like built on Egyptian stuff in the 30s and then constructed something their own. I'm gonna do that my own damn self in my work. So I'm pulling from real life representations of fucking making it up.
Nice.
So,
Yeah.
Very cool.
I try to my kind of like. I guess my advice, if I'm allowed to give advice, is
You're definitely
for
allowed to give
ideas
advice.
and kind of inspiration is the idea for me is I try to ingest as much as possible. Like I'll spend a solid month doing research on a project, just like absorb it kind of without thinking, without a plan, and then sit down and see what kind of comes out of my mind, in terms of sketches, and let that kind of guide where I go from there. So like with the Egyptian stuff, I pull like start reading about the plan, start reading a history of Hatshepsut, who is the pharaoh's name, read a really wonky book on how to read hieroglyphs. I know I'm not going to retain like more than 5% of it, but like, and then let that guide how I draw things, and then go from there. So like,
That's really
initially
cool.
treat yourself as just kind of like a slave to the reference, where you're just absorbing everything, and then put it down, close it, and see what you have. It's the easiest way I find, and everyone works differently, but that's the way that I find best, that I can kind of like absorb my influences and my references without being a slave to them.
It's like you're there. It's like you're living there.
Exactly,
That's cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
Real cool. Okay.
People are shooting each other in Villainous Lair right now.
Yeah. There's a war
know if you guys
going
can
on
hear that
down
or
there.
More customers.
All right, next one is from @JardenMagnum2EU. How easy is it to sign up at Little Fish Studios, and what are the benefits?
Oh, that's a good question.
That is a great question.
Yeah.
It is very easy. At
JardenMagnum2EU.
and that was not a plant, I
Yeah.
promise. I don't know that person. It's super easy. There's no like big long list of registration forms. All our classes are listed on the website. They rotate either on a monthly or bi-monthly basis. And what I tell people is, if they're interested in class, contact us. Our email is on the website, or it's littlefishcomicbooks@gmail.com. Contact us, and no hassle, no commitment. Just stop in, drop in for a class or a half class, whatever you can do.
Nice.
Try it out. If it fits, like, come back, hopefully you'll take classes. If it doesn't, like, cool, thanks for stopping in, and we have a ton of free events that we do. We have a Little Fish Comic Book Savvy once a month, where we open our doors. Fans, students, professionals drop in. We sometimes have free comic books to pass out to folks, and it's a chance for people to kind of like just check out the studio, see what it's like, what's the classroom look like, see our library, talk to us, get a sense of like what things are like, talk to students,
Cool.
if they want to get like kind of some first-hand experience.
How much does it cost to go there?
Classes are, if you take one class a month, it's 4 sessions. Like Wednesdays buy graphic comics this month, so it's 4 Wednesdays. It's $150 a month.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, not bad.
No.
You do 2 classes, it's $200, and then if you do 4 classes, it's $300.
That's totally affordable.
That is
Totally
awesome.
affordable.
I thought you were
right?
going to be like, it's like $2,500 to go for.
No, it's $150.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah. We try to keep it low,
And for what you get out of it too.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
It's rad.
and that includes access to the studio on Saturdays. I've got some students that, we have a Saturday class that we run. It's 10 to noon, but then from 10 to 2:30, the studio is just open. Weekday students will stop in. Maybe they need feedback on stuff. I have a couple students that are seniors right now at the School of Creative and Performing Arts down in Paradise Valley. I think that area is called Paradise Hills, Paradise something. And they'll stop in just to be like, I'm freaking out. Like, can you take a look at my senior work? Like, what do I need to fix? I want to graduate,
Yeah.
And then I get to be like, psychiatrist and teacher, like, calm down, it's gonna be okay. You're not gonna fail. If I can graduate high school, so can you.
Wax
And
in,
then I
wax
get
off.
some students that like stop in, and I'm like, how are you doing? They're like, don't talk to me, I'm just here to check out books. They're like,
All right.
and I'm like, cool, like, go
Okay.
at it. I've got this one student, he actually takes a Saturday class, but half the class, his name's Adrian. Hey, Adrian. Adrian will stop in and just devour everything we have that's DC New 52. He doesn't want to hear about anything pre New 52. Doesn't care about it.
I like Adrian.
Adrian's kind of phenomenal. Adrian's favorite superhero is Buona Beast. If you guys know Buona Beast.
Buona
No.
Beast.
Buona Beast is. Do you guys know Buona Beast? Have you heard of Buona Beast? Buona Beast
No.
is the most amazingly ridiculous character ever, and I swear to God, I think Buona Beast might be the only Silver Age character who has never had his first appearance reprinted ever in any way, shape, or form. He's basically Tarzan with some crazy ass jungle mask that he
Dude,
wears.
I know exactly who you're talking
and
about.
his superpower is to take any 2 animals and combine them into a new animal.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Dirk
he was
knows.
on-
Now people know. Yeah.
he was on
Dirk
Batman
knows
Brave
what's
and the
up.
Bold cartoon. This is literally this kid's favorite superhero. Buona Beast is his favorite. If you say that Buona Beast is lame, he will fight you. He will. And one of my shining moments with Adrian is last summer. Adrian's got no fear. Adrian actually got Klaus Janson to draw Buona Beast for him in his sketchbook.
Wow.
That's so cool.
I think there was a Solomon Grundy versus Buona Beast.
Oh man,
I think that's where I just didn't remember the name, but I think that's where I actually thought it was a Solomon Grundy character at first,
man.
but it is DC, right?
Yeah. DC,
Okay. Yeah.
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 Never been reprinted. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
And afterwards, Klaus pulls me aside. And, Klaus has been active in the industry for over 40 years. 45, I think. Klaus is old. Hi, Klaus.
Hey, Klaus.
Hopefully he won't hear this. Klaus pulls me aside. And Klaus has drawn everything. Daredevil, Batman, the Avengers, everything. And he pulls me aside and he goes, I think that's the first time I've ever drawn Buona Beast. And I was like, really? And he goes, who is this character? And
It's Adrian.
He was like, is that Mike Sikowski, the artist that created it? And I was like, I think so. And he goes, wow.
That's pretty awesome.
It was fantastic.
That's rad.
Pretty epic, man.
Okay, this is for Jorgensberg STG.
Yeah, dude, I just typed that down. I don't even know how to pronounce that.
Jorgensberg.
Jorgensberg?
STG. Yeah.
Nice German name.
Yeah, spelled very strangely though. Anyways, what are your personal goals in the comic industry?
Ooh, my personal goals. They've shifted since starting Little Fish. Initially I graduated college, wanted to be, just a work in the big two, do superhero books for the rest of my life. As Little Fish has become more of a thing, I would, who doesn't want to crack at Batman or Spider-Man or Superman, any of the iconic guys. But like right now, like this Hatchetsa book is taking up all my time and passion, and I find that. As I think the teacher has become the student. I see how passionate a lot of my students are about their own project. More and more, you get a lot of people coming into the industry or wanting to come into the industry via web comics or manga, anime, all very creator-owned type of books or projects, and they want to do their own stuff. And so I've been like, well, if my students are doing it, like I got to do it myself. So I just want to. Be able to do my own projects, around as time allows with Little Fish. Finish this Egyptian book some point before I die, But then go on from there. We're developing as a studio a superhero that's set in San Diego, so we can kind of draw on San Diego as a location.
Nice.
And explore some of the shared history between San Diego and Mexico and kind of the regional stuff. But really develop those projects and include the studio. Part of what's gotten me excited about that project is including the students, because I've got some students who are already phenomenal inkers or colorists, and I'm like, I want that girl to color this book, or she needs to be the inker on this book, So, pursuing projects, getting those self-published or maybe published, through a smaller comic company, but kind of just getting them done and getting them out there,
Yeah.
walking the walk. Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right, last but not least, from Sonny Nickerson 6. What is
What's
more?
up, Sonny?
Yeah, what's going on, Sonny? What is more important to Little Fish, the educational side of things or the publishing side of things?
Interesting.
Ooh, that's a good question. I think for me, I'm going to sidestep the question and say questions are for suckers.
Yes, Sonny. What do you
Take
think?
that,
I
Sonny.
think that's from Scandal. I think I stole that from Scandal. My wife got. Do you guys know Scandal?
Oh, yeah.
Shows like crack. My wife got into Scandal, and I sat down and I was like, "This is lame." And
That's
5
the one with
minutes
the
later,
president and the affair, right?
Olivia Pope and Kerry Washington. I started watching it and I was like, "This is lame." Let me have some popcorn. And I'm watching it, and then 10 minutes later, I was like, "I don't want to do anything else other than watch this TV show." Questions are for suckers. So the education and the publishing for me go together. Because part of what kind of drove the initial idea behind Little Fish and drives it to this day is that educating people on comics doesn't just involve, writing or art or, lettering and coloring and all the stuff that we think of in terms of making comics, but also understanding things like creators' rights, how to publish a book, how to talk to publishers, how to prep a book for publication, how to use InDesign, how to use things that kids understandably care nothing about. No kid is like, I can't wait to get a pirated copy of InDesign. I can't wait to learn appropriate formats. A3 means 11 by 17. I love these numbers. They don't love that stuff, but once they do, they're like, oh man, like all I need now is like money, which is not an insubstantial thing, but like publishing is just another layer of education. For me, part of it is just not self-creation, not self-publishing, but we like to use the word self-creation, so like there's the drawing, the writing, whatever you choose to do, knowing how to publish should also be something that if you're not going to publish yourself, it's because you've chosen to not do it, not you don't know how. We don't want anyone to not do something because they don't know how to do it. So both.
Very cool, man.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Cool.
Well, what would be the easiest way for people to get in touch with you guys?
The easiest way to get in touch with us, if you're in the neighborhood, swing by. We keep...
and where's that at?
We are at 4837 Voltaire Street, 4837, right off the 8 and 5 freeways in
Ocean Beach?
In Ocean Beach, right between Sunset and Cable. We've got a red and black door. We keep erratic hours, but especially during summer. Summer's coming up. We're going to be running camps all day long, so
cool.
we're going to be there. I might be living at that studio, and then also email littlefishcomicbooks@gmail.com. Hit us up there. We're on the Facebook and the Twitter and the Instagram. We love questions. We love connecting with friends, and we have on Facebook we post a lot of kind of like as they happen events. So we've got the Comic Savvy, which we do every month. In addition, Villainous Lair also does a Comic Savvy. So info is always there on our Facebook page for that. And we also just launched a cosplay figure drawing class. So it's like a traditional figure drawing class, but we have professional grade cosplayers come and model
That's
for that.
really cool.
So it's phenomenal. We have one coming up this Friday. In fact, Friday, March 13th. Friday the 13th. We've got some amazing cosplayers lined up for that. So
Sweet,
contact
man.
if you're interested about that. Yeah.
Sounds good, dude.
Cool. Thank you very much, Alonzo. That was awesome to hear about all that stuff.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for coming out, dude.
Definitely.
Appreciate it, man.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Definitely.
Have a good one.
Awesome. You too. Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching. Another episode in the can.
Digital Lizards of Doom show live at Meltdown. This is our first episode at Villainous Lair. We are super stoked to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Villainous, for letting us do this. Look at this awesome kingdom behind here. It's so rad.
Beautiful. If you live in San Diego, come on down, play some games, grab some comics, all of the above.
That was a pretty good episode, man.
I feel good about it.
Alonzo's a rad dude.
Yeah.
He does a lot of cool stuff.
That was an awesome interview.
So get out there, support him, support Little Fish.
Yeah.
Pretty rad. So
where can we find Digital Lizards of Doom stuff?
You can check us out at facebook.com/DLODcore. You can check us out on Instagram at Digital Lizards of Doom.
Booyah.
All one word.
Booyah.
DLODband.com, where you can catch every episode. We upload it every Wednesday. So DLODband.com is actually the easiest way, because it's just you go there and it's on the front page. You just click and watch it. So
Meltdown Comics YouTube page as well. Thank you again, Meltdown, for allowing us to do this thing.
Battlecast.
Awesome. Yeah, go
Battlecast.
battlecastshow.com or go to facebook.com/battlecast show, and Twitter Battlecast Show, all the above Battlecast Show. It's my
If you want to get your laugh on,
podcast.
It's a good time.
Yeah, if you don't mind raunchiness and characters beating the crap out of each other. That's what it's all about.
Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah. Take it easy, y'all.
Peace.
This has been the Digital Lizards of Doom show live at Meltdown.